Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 2026 thriller movie, Mercy. But before we do that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. And without further ado, here we go. So I went to see this movie, Mercy. Mercy is, I guess, a thriller movie, and it's centered around a man who is a detective who is suspected for murdering his wife. And he is being put on trial by an AI judge who really only goes by the facts. And there is a lot that goes on in this movie, but there's also not very much. This is a very light spoiler review. I won't be really doing too many spoilers for this movie, just in case you want to see it for yourself. However, I will say right off the bat that I was very, very disappointed after I walked out of the theater when this movie was done. I went in really excited. The trailer excited me. I thought it was an interesting premise, an interesting concept, and I was very let down by the end of the movie. I was kind of trying my best not to fall asleep. I just found that this movie was quite boring. Like, I don't feel like enough progress was happening in like the grand scheme of the plot. One of the strangest things, like I said, about this movie is that it feels fast-paced but slow at the same time. I kind of feel like, not that it moves from scene to scene, but it goes from one thing to the next pretty quickly, and it's easy to follow because you know what is going on. However, it's just like, okay, like this happened. Okay, how does this factor into this? And then it's like we got suspects being eliminated extremely quickly. And I just wish that we would have like dwelled on like suspects and certain people more, just to make the movie a little bit more intriguing. I also feel like, the movie doesn't really build tension. I feel as though, like, instead of like building up the emotion of something, we kind of just, here's the emotion and then we move along, right? I don't feel like there's too much time to really get connected to these characters. Like the wife who was murdered, I didn't care for her too much. I didn't care about the husband all that much. His backstory, like, okay, cool. Was he abusive? He may have been abusive. He may have not been. I could care less. I found the daughter a little bit annoying. Um, yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of movement, but there's not actual like suspense or emotion there. Like I couldn't tie myself to anybody in the movie to care enough. And I know that that's not always necessary. You don't need to have that to enjoy a movie. But I think given the premise of it, I'm supposed to feel something for someone in this movie, and I just really don't. Okay, so moving on to the performances, I don't necessarily feel like the performances helped. I don't think that they were the best. I don't think that they were the worst, but I don't think that they were the best for the type of movie that this was. I feel like the actress who played the cop, I didn't like her acting. I didn't really feel like she was believable. I didn't feel like anyone was like all too believable in this entire thing. And I don't know, like I think maybe that affected the outcome of, this movie as well. But yeah, like, sometimes a movie is really good and then there's bad acting, or a movie is bad and then there's good acting. I feel like this movie wasn't great and then we didn't have the best acting. And so it was kind of very mid tier or even below mid tier movie. Yeah, I just feel like in a thriller, performances are everything. If I don't believe that your characters are really devastated by what's going on, or they're really extremely affected by what's going on, then I cannot really get into this movie. I need to be connected to the why and the what, the how of what is going on. And I just feel like this is the type of movie where you needed that. And it didn't have that at all. Okay, so also the mystery itself, I feel like wasn't I don't need it to be complicated, but I feel like it was way too easy. Like from the beginning, I kind of knew who was going to be the culprit. Like not beginning, but once it was like everybody was so quickly ruled out, it was like, okay, this is going to be the obvious person. And then if it wasn't that person, it would have been even worse because then it would have been somebody that we just didn't know about that was never on screen. So it was like, okay, which bat are we going to take? I was kind of hoping that a certain character would have been the culprit because they give us kind of like an interesting view of this character at the beginning. And I was wishing, oh man, like I feel like they could have taken it down that route. I don't necessarily know how they would have done it, but I know, like I just feel like it would have been more interesting if that person was the ultimate suspect. And they didn't go that way. And there's a reason that I thought they were going to be it, and then they weren't. So they just made this person do something really strange for absolutely no reason. It's weird because, like, the movie, there's action sequences going on, right? We find out it's this character. There is intensity, but I'm not really getting into like, I don't really feel how intense this is. Like, you're not pulling me in to feel like this is a life or death situation, which it was kind of supposed to be. Like, I am not feeling anything. And I guess it's once again, it's because I'm not connected to these characters. So I could care less what happens to them. I mean, I guess it kind of felt like the movie didn't know how to make its own climax matter. I also feel like another letdown was the reason behind the mother's murder. If you're gonna watch it, you'll find out. I've kind of thought that was like, I get that that was the reason, but I also felt like it was very lame. Once again, no climax. It wasn't really that intriguing. It was like, oh, okay. It was like if the movie had been something else, I felt like that would have been like a really, really good way or a really good reasoning, but it wasn't that. It was just kind of like, okay, so we did this because of this, and all right, cool. So like someone innocent and everything is like their life is gone because that's how you decided to get revenge, so to speak. I don't know. Like I was very it was so disappointing. I also feel like the investigation into her death by her husband was just so lackluster. He was eliminating suspects so quickly. There was no big revelations, no big discoveries. It was just like, okay, yeah, it's not him. Oh, okay, yeah, it's not him. Until we just finally got to the very obvious person that it was. There was one point where the person that I wished it was just eliminated off the screen, and I thought, oh, maybe they're gonna bring them back onto the screen, but that never happened. And so that's when I was like, okay, it's this person. And lo and behold, it was. And we didn't really ever get like any huge discoveries. There was kind of one at the end, but again, like I feel like if the movie was something else, that would have been really good. But uh, yeah. Okay, so the AI judge part of the storyline, I feel like was definitely the most unique part of the storyline, given how like everything is coming into AI now. But it was just like they kind of tried to get this AI judge to come into having emotions, and every time that like she would like kind of display emotions, she would start having like glitches, which didn't really like make sense because I know like there are AIs that like can mimic emotions and things of that nature. So I don't really understand why that would be. Like they just programmed her to not have any emotions, only go by facts, which doesn't make any type of sense because how are you serving justice this way? Um, but yeah, and there's also certain things that like she said or did that didn't make sense at all. It was just dumb. I will spoil a little. There's one point where she's like, okay, you get an hour to do a trial for somebody. Once they are proven innocent, they're let go from the chair. But if they stay on the chair when the hour is up, they will still be executed. But that doesn't make any sense. If you've proven them innocent, then why do they get executed at the end of an hour automatically? Like, what? What if there's a malfunction on the chair and you just can't get up from the chair? So that person is just executed even if they're innocent? Like we need to like reformat this. Like why why is that happening? If we can have an AI judge, surely we can fix a problem like that. So overall, I feel like Mercy felt very dull and underwhelming. Not the worst ever, not the worst movie ever, but definitely not memorable. Not for me at least. The pacing was off. The acting did not elevate the story. The mystery was too obvious. And the AI element for me did not live up to its potential. So for me, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. I feel like it had a strong concept, but it just did not deliver. But that's just my opinion. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this movie. If you've seen it, if you're going to watch this movie, and if you've watched it, um, let me know what you think. If you're going to watch it, come back and let me know what you thought. But yeah, like I said, that's my opinion. If you loved it, I don't care. That's great for you. I personally wanted more and I didn't enjoy it. So yeah, it's a 4 out of 10. That being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel for more videos and content like this. I will see you in the next one. Bye.